YouTube, I'm Winter. So for most yeah, you want that? Hey YouTube, it's B. Today I'm going to do something a little bit different than what I've been doing in the past. We're gonna meet Winter! This is my little girl, Winter. So today I'm going to sit and do it's either, we can call it the baby tag or new mom tag. It's just a few questions that I found online, and I just thought it would be a fun way to introduce Winter to my YouTube channel. Introduce her to you guys and let you see how cute she is. So we're just going to jump right into this tag and answer the questions pretty much as quickly as possible. So the first question is, how many children do you have and how old are they? Right now we just have Winter. She is 6 months old. Question number 2 is, what are your proudest and most frustrating moments as a parent? Right now, my proudest moment, I'm sure there's got to be a million and two others, is last night the first time, she sat up on her own and was playing with her toys by herself. I'll insert a little clip here of the video that I got of it. Look, her sitting up and playing with her doggy. Wow. So for most frustrating moment, we haven't really had a lot of frustrating moments with her. She's been a pretty easygoing baby. Aside from all like the new parent thing is the lack of sleep in the beginning. Pretty much, and I mean every now and again she gets in these like moods where it's like, I'm hungry but I'm not hungry, and like I really want that bottle so give it to me but I don't want it, all at the same time. So that can be pretty frustrating, but other than that, she's pretty chill. We don't really have a whole lot of frustrating moments with her. Thank goodness. Question number 3 is, how do you discipline your child? Now, we don't really discipline her. I mean, she's 6 months old. She wouldn't understand discipline at this point. She doesn't really do anything right now for us to have to discipline her. So, I mean, that'll be a question to answer when she's a little bit older and acting out as a toddler and a teenager. We'll come back to that question. Question number 4 is, do you co-sleep? No, we don't. I don't see anything wrong with the people who do want to co-sleep. I mean, personal preference. I personally slept in her room with her. When we first returned home to Manitoba after I had her in Newfoundland, I slept in her nursery with her for the first 4 weeks when we were home until she was about 8 weeks old, and then she started sleeping pretty much through the night. And then I chose to move out of her room, and now since she's been about 8 or 9 weeks old, she slept through the night every night. I mean, the odd night she'll wake up and she just wants a little bit of milk and then she goes right back to sleep. But for the most part, she sleeps through the night, and she has since she was a little tiny baby. Alright, so she wants to sleep like this now because she found that she has feet. Question number 5 is, what is your must-have piece of baby equipment? Our must-have was the Mamaroo swing. Now, I will disclose that I did not pay for the Mamaroo. We were given it by my husband's sister, so God bless her. Like, thank you, Amanda, you saved us. She still loves it to this day. She's 6 months old, and every now and again, if she will not go down for a nap in her crib or on our bed, she will go in the Mamaroo, and she's out in like 2 minutes. Those times when she just really doesn't want to go down for a nap in her crib, we have the Mamaroo as a backup. So question number 6 is, name one thing you bought before having baby that you never really used. In all honesty, we never really bought anything that we haven't used. I mean, we have a lot of toys that she hasn't quite used yet. The only thing I can think of is before she was born, we had picked up a bunch of newborn clothes and like 0 to 3 month clothing. And she grew out of those really quickly, so a lot of the clothes that we had bought in those sizes only fit her for a very short amount of time, and 90% of the time she was in a sleeper. So she didn't really get a chance to wear a lot of the little outfits we had gotten her. But we packed them away, and in case there ever is a number 2, that is a girl, we have those all ready. Question number 7 is, have you always wanted kids, and how many more do you plan on having? So the answer to this is not that we never wanted kids. At the time, we were kind of like, before we decided to try for her, we were kind of just like, oh, well, we have the 2 dogs. Like, we're good with dogs. We don't, like, whatever. you know, eventually we'll have a baby, blah, blah, blah. But then baby fever hit, and it hit hard. So, so we decided to try for her. And it was pretty quick, like within a month it was, you know, she was on her way. How many do you plan on having? So we have decided that if we are going to try for a second, it will be when she is 4 years old, like going to be 5 when the baby's born. We would sit when she is 4, we will sit and talk about it, and if we decide to have a second, that's when we will do it. So number 8 is, do you think your relationship with your spouse has changed for the better or the worse since having children? I think it's definitely been for the better. There has been definitely a change because our roles have changed. It's not just the 2 of us and the 2 dogs anymore. Especially, he's gonna kill me for this. Especially for my husband. He has never really been known to be the most patient person. But since, I mean, she's been around and you kind of, like, your life starts revolving around baby time. Like, you have no, it doesn't matter how quick you want to get out of the house. So he's gotten a lot more patient, which is really, really good. Question number 9 is date night. So how many nights a week or a month do you allow for a date night? We give ourselves 1 night a weekend where it's when she goes down, we will rent a movie, we'll get some popcorn, wine, beer, whatever he's gonna drink, and we will just sit and the 2 of us will watch a movie and we'll just hang out and chat and catch up on the week because we just haven't had much time to sit and talk about anything. So it's nice to have those few minutes to just kind of sit, chat, you know, touch base again. It's good. Question number 10 is, how has having a child changed your relationship with your friends? A lot of my really close friends, like best friends, girls that I would call my best friends, a lot of them have kids already, and they had kids before I had Winter. And so I feel like now I have a closer connection with them because I can relate to them on another level. When before it was kind of just like, oh, okay, they have babies, and I didn't really know how to deal with babies that weren't related to me. Like with my niece, she was kind of the first baby I had really ever dealt with and that I was comfortable with, and so that was a big thing, a big difference for me. Now I can relate to all the things when they want to talk about, you know, late nights, dealing with a baby, teething, and all this stuff. I knew nothing about this before, but now I feel like we can have these conversations and I can take part, and I feel like we've reconnected because of it, which is, I mean, great. I love it. Number 11 seems like a really random question, but it's how many cars does your family have? Right now we only have 1 car. Once I am back to work in September, we are going to look at getting a second vehicle, just because me and my husband, we used to work at the same place, but now he works out of town and I still work in town. So when she starts at her daycare or day home, I'm going to have to be taking her there in the morning, and we're going to need a second vehicle just for me to be getting around with her, especially in the winter time because it gets really cold here, like minus 50 Celsius cold. So I'm not going to be walking her in her stroller. It's just one of those things that we will look into it at a later date, but not right now. 12 is a dream vacation with the kids and a dream vacation without the kids. So my dream vacation with her is when we've already have this like figured out that when she is 4, we are going to take her to Disney because I kind of want her to be able to experience it. I love when people bring their little babies. It's adorable. You can get cute pictures, but it's not like, I mean, they'll see the pictures, but they're not going to remember that trip. And I just feel like when they're younger or when they're a little bit older, they might remember it a little better. I mean, who knows? I could be completely off base with that. But yeah, okay, well, I mean, she's telling me. Dream vacation without the kids is myself and my husband, we never really had a honeymoon. Not that our wedding was like last minute type thing, but we did end up deciding to get married over the summer while we were home, shortly after we had her, when we weren't going to get married until this coming summer. And so we never really got much of a honeymoon. We would like to go on a cruise or like an all-inclusive trip. One of those ones, I don't know, like on a resort, I think would be really nice. And like my husband's never done that. We've both been on a cruise, and I've been to an all-inclusive, but he's never been to an all-inclusive. So I think that would be really fun for both of us. Question number 13 is, where do you shop for your kids? So it really depends on what we're shopping for. If it's clothes, we'll go Carter's. If it's like toys and stuff, Amazon. I mean, I am obsessed with Zulily.com. I could probably, the amount of money they get from me on a monthly basis is ridiculous. But they have everything. Like, they have stuff for your house, they have stuff for babies, they have clothing, they have toys. Number 14 is favorite mommy makeup and skincare. I still use the same cosmetics that I used before I got pregnant. Skin hasn't changed that much since having her. I have incorporated one skincare item that I didn't use before I got pregnant now. I actually entered a contest on Instagram from Time Maternity and Marcel. They did a pregnancy skincare line. So they sent me the full range of the skincare line, and it was amazing. It was like, there was a body oil and like a firming and lifting cream, stretch mark cream, moisturizer, facial moisturizer. I actually am still using that one. I love it. It's great. It's scent free. It's really gentle, and I really like that because my skin it's pretty sensitive, so I have to be pretty choosy about what I put on it. Question number 15 is, since becoming a parent, do you notice you act more like your own parents? So like your mother, because I'm the mother. And I'm going to say yes and no. There are certain things that my mother did that I am for sure, like, I can see myself doing them, especially when she gets older. Certain rules that were in place in my house that I'm going to implement in my own home. But then there's other things that I know that I'm not going to do, just because. We'll just leave it there. Number 16 is piercing baby's ears. Do or don't? Again, personal preference. My mom had my ears pierced, I think, when I was 10 months old, and I'm glad she did, because if not, I probably would have been 15 or 16 before I actually got it done. I mean, I'm okay with doing it after they're 6 months old. And I would get her ears pierced if there was anyone here to do it. And I could do them myself because I am trained to pierce ears, only ears. But I don't know if I want to really do that. I don't think I could do that to my own baby. So one of those things that eventually, whenever we get to the city again, we'll probably get her ears pierced. Number 17 is bath or shower for me and the kids. For her, bath. I tried to take her in the shower with me a couple times and she really didn't like it. And I don't see the need. She's fine in the bathtub. She doesn't mind it. Question number 18 is mom back to her pre-baby weight? Yes, I'm actually 3 pounds lighter than I was before I got pregnant, but that being said, that does not mean that I am at a healthy weight. I'm working on it. So Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, I partake in like a circuit training thing. Mondays, I do it with my sister-in-law, just the two of us. We go to her house and we just like blast through it. And then Tuesdays and Thursdays, it's actually being held here, like a girl, one of our friends, runs it here. So we go to that, which has been awesome. Question number 19 is college dreams. Do you want her to go to college, or do you want her to follow her heart? I wholeheartedly will support whatever decision she makes. If she decides that she wants to go to college, great. If she decides she wants to take a year off, she can work and figure out what she wants to do. I took a year off after high school, and then I did hairstyling school. And I loved it. It was a great thing. But I will support whatever she wants, because someone you would expect to really support a decision you make would look at you and say, oh, you're not going to make any money at that. Oh, there's no jobs there, blah, blah, blah. And then once you completed it and you were working in that field and doing really well, oh, I knew you were going to make money at that. I knew you were going to be successful. Like, I know the sting of that, so I'm going to 100%, I will support whatever decision she makes. Question number 20 says, finish this sentence. You know you're a mom when you... I really don't know how to finish this with something completely disgusting. So you know you're a mom when you are willing to suck the snot out of your baby's nose. Yeah, that was something I actually had to do. A few weeks before Christmas, she was really congested, and I have one of those little bulb aspirator things, and I have no idea where I put it. So she could not breathe through her nose one morning. So I had to make the decision one morning to just put mouth to nose and get it done. It was absolutely disgusting, but I mean, I'd do it again in a heartbeat if she was congested. I'm not just gonna leave her there suffering and not being able to breathe. I did what I had to do. He was a little trooper through this video, but I think that maybe we'll do some more videos, including her in them. So we're gonna call this video success. Bye, guys.